All right, can you guys hear me now? Oh, the lights are bright. Can you guys hear me? I apologize for that. I thought I had it all together. I was trying to go live from my iPad, but I guess the volume or the microphone wasn't working. So I don't know what's going on, but welcome in, guys. I appreciate your patience. All right, let me go ahead and get started. I do apologize. So it's 7:06. I'm going to keep this at an hour. So again, guys, welcome in. If you're new to our channel, I'm RacQuelle from MHFamilyAdventures. Thanks for being here for our second Chit Chat, Cruise Chit Chat Tuesdays. For this year, we are going live every other Tuesday. The first Tuesday of each month will be more so like a focus that we're going to just have some conversation about related to cruising. And then the second one will be more so like a question and answer session plus anything else. So today I'm going to start off with a Q&A. So if you have any questions at all about cruising at all, feel free to drop those in the chat. And I'll go through those. And then probably around 7:40, I'm going to bring Dyson on and we're going to talk about our recent sailing on Liberty of the Seas. We just got home yesterday from our weekend sailing. So we had a really good time. But let me see who's here in the chat. All right, Just Kaya TV, welcome in. Thanks for being here. And guys, if you did not check out Kaya's video yesterday, I think it's so inspirational, but Kaya's going back to school. And I think you said you're 37. I'm not putting your business out there, but you already put it out there. But she's going back to school. So guys, congratulate her on that. It's never too late to go back to school and, study for whatever you want to be. So I was inspired by watching her video yesterday. Parker's on the go. Welcome in. Thanks for being here, Parker's on the go. I always appreciate your support. Yvette, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me know that you couldn't hear me because I was just going to keep on talking. My husband's like, he's in the background like, nope, they can't hear you. We tripping. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are doing well. Is it Chanel? Welcome in. I don't think I've seen your name here before, but welcome. I appreciate you being here. Let's see here. Allen Family Adventures, welcome in, welcome in. And you just hit a milestone as well, but we got to get Jocelyn and her family to 1K. She's preparing to cruise here in about 2 weeks. So if you aren't already subscribed to Allen Family Adventures, please do me a favor and go ahead and go over, open up another tab and go subscribe to Jocelyn and her family. If you love our cruise content, there are family cruising and traveling and lifestyle family vlogs. So definitely check them out as well. Let's see, just people speaking. Is it Cassine? Love, love, love your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We love all of the support that we're getting. All right, let's see. Yvette, speaking to Kaya, just Kaya, I'm good and tired. How are you, Allen Family Adventures? So you're speaking, I'm tired today too. It's been a very long day. I have some other news to kind of share with you guys as well if you haven't been following on social media. And if you're not on social media, please be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I kind of post more updates there than I do on like the community tab and on YouTube. So definitely check out our Instagram and Facebook. I kind of update that regularly. And together we travel. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. Others just speaking. Let's see. And we have Marcia here. Thanks for being here, Marcia. I really do appreciate it. Thanks. You can hear me now. I think you got it. Yes. Thanks, guys. Me and these tech issues. I thought I had it all together. I was ready, and it didn't work out. Let's see. Yvette speaking, can hear now. Welcome in, Denise. Thanks for being here. I don't think I've seen your name in our live stream before, but welcome in. I appreciate you being here tonight. Denise, I'm new. Oh, yeah, there you are. I'm new, first time on. Thanks for being here. We really do appreciate it. Ron, there's my husband. He's here. Let's see. Yeah, so congrats to Kaya. Everyone's giving congrats to Kaya. And let's see, I want to make sure I'm speaking to everyone. So if I missed you, I'm kind of scrolling through these comments. Parker's on the go. So we'll start there. How does it feel to be news famous? So if you have not been following, I'll kind of start there and then we'll get into the Q&A. So if you have any questions related to cruising, being a travel agent, anything about our family, not anything too personal, but if there's any questions that you might have, feel free to drop those in the chat and I'll get back to those here in a minute. But Yeah, it's been a very busy day. If you, again, aren't following us and you're new, Dyson and I, Dyson our youngest son, we went on a mother-son cruise this past weekend on Liberty of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean. And we had something happen on that cruise that we've never, ever experienced. I've heard of it. I've seen other stories and things about it, but we were, I guess I just kind of share the whole story, but we were Saturday, so we were scheduled to go to Coco Cay and Nassau, Bahamas on Saturday morning. The captain came on. We kind of expected this to happen because we had some really cold weather during the cruise and windy weather, but the captain came on early that morning to say that unfortunately we weren't going to be able to dock in Coco Cay because of the winds. And, of course, you're a little disappointed because we had plans for Coco Cay, and that's one of my favorite private islands. So we were, a little bit disappointed, but of course we understood that safety's first or what have you. So just being a little bit, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm loving these Virgin Voyages cruises, still laughing at the wipes. If y'all didn't see that, go check out the wipes from Virgin Voyages, but they weren't quite wipes. So if you haven't seen, I'm not going to spoil it, but she just had me laughing at that comment. But yeah, so we were scheduled to go to Coco Cay. That did not happen. And maybe 2 hours after that, we had breakfast and everything. We get another announcement, and the captain comes on to say that he spotted a small vessel not too far from our ship, and that based on maritime laws, that we're required to go out to see if the vessel needed any help. And so, long story short, we wind up Liberty of the Seas, the captain and crew, they wind up rescuing 17 migrants. And I use the word refugee on my video clip, and I probably should not have. There's a difference, if you don't know, between a migrant and a refugee. A migrant is someone who on their own leaves to move to a different place, whereas a refugee is like forced out. And I don't think we really even know at this point whether they are migrants or refugees, but yeah, so Liberty of the Seas wind up helping 17 Cuban migrants who were out at sea for 15 days. So guys, when I tell you this, it was freezing cold. We were just out on the deck and we were freezing. I could never imagine being out on the open water for 15 days. And there were 17 people, and it was a makeshift boat. It wasn't like a real boat. It was something that they made, and they were out there. I don't know whether they had enough food to last that time, but they had very little in the boat when they pulled up and they approached the ship. So we spotted, when we first got up to the deck, if you watch my videos, we saw them way, way out in the distance. Like you could almost not even see them. But then eventually it took about 45 minutes or so before they actually made it over to the ship. And when, at first we thought maybe there was 6 or 7 people in there, but once they got closer, we could tell that there were a lot of people on board. So we experienced that. And like I said, it was just so humbling to see, you hear these stories, you hear about, other countries and other places where they, things are really bad. And, we sit here and we think we have it bad here, but people are actually trying to come over here. And so, during this time, I'm having conversations with Dyson about it, using it as a teachable moment. And there were a lot of other families kind of talking about it. And, so it was an emotional time. Everyone was kind of emotional about it, but everyone was so relieved and excited that the captain and the crew, they were able to help these families. So that was an experience. So I wound up posting the video online, and it was more so to post it to share because, I always highlight whatever happens during our cruise, that it seems like this is becoming a problem where we're getting more and more. I'm not going to say a problem. I should not say that. It's not a problem. It's a problem that these people are in places where they don't feel wanted or feel like they can make a living, or they feel unsafe. That's the problem. Not coming here is not the problem. But it's becoming more and more of a thing where cruise ships are having to actually go and rescue migrants or refugees. And so I wanted to highlight that and just kind of show this is really happening, and this is kind of what it looks like. And so I posted the video on, I think I did 2 shorts just to kind of keep people updated on what was happening. And then I posted like a quick video just saying, you know, I was praying for the families. I was hoping that everyone was going to make it on board safely and, you know, that kind of thing. And later found out that there were actually 2 other boats out there. I don't know the status of those individuals or those boats, but we learned that there were 2 other boats that were traveling with the boat with 17. Sounds like one of them might have capsized, but I don't know all the details of that yet. But I think it's still kind of, I think they might still be out trying to find them. So a sad situation, but it, like I said, it was eye-opening. It was very emotional. It was definitely a teachable moment. And it's something that could happen if you're cruising. And it sounds like right now, the situations in Haiti and in Cuba, you know, that it's gotten really bad and people are leaving. So I shared that information out. Well, was it late last night, babe? I think it was late last night. I got a message on Facebook, and the lady was like, "I'm from CNN." And I'm like, of course, you know, you get a lot of spam, a lot of that. I'm like, oh, this, whatever, what is this? So then Dyson looked up the lady's name, and in fact, she's from CNN. So reached out to see if they could use my information. They asked me some questions about, you know, what I witnessed, kind of how I was feeling about the situation. And they asked if they had my permission to use my clips. And of course, I share. I'm like, yes, absolutely. I mean, YouTube is public. You can use whatever's there. And so I shared that information with them. They shared the story this morning. And since then, I've had the Associated Press to reach out to see about using the clips and using my photos. I just recently had, who was the other one that reached out? Oh, who did the interview with me? The Associated Press interviewed me earlier through a Skype call. So I talked with them. And then just here recently, I got a message from, hold on, I'm checking my phone, from News Nation asking the same thing. So I've been just kind of sharing and giving consent for people to use my videos and pictures. And, you know, of course, people are like, well, are you going to make money off of this? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, this is not a situation where I'm trying to make money off of anything. But it's like, if, you know, there wasn't a news person on board to capture these moments, and if we want to get the word out that this is what's going on and this is news, and that, you know, I just felt like it's like my duty to share that information. So today's been kind of busy with just talking to the news outlets about what I witnessed, and then, you know, giving consent for them to use my videos and my photographs. So that's kind of been unraveling today. I think I anticipate a few others reaching out. But the Associated Press, if you're not familiar with them, they tend to get information and then they share it out to the news outlet. So like I've had a couple friends from Florida to reach out, say, hey, I saw you on the news, or, you know, so it's being shared all over the place. So that's, you know, kind of a big deal, because I was not expecting for this to go, you know, to where like it's going to be on CNN. Now I was on CNN once before. I'll share this story. So I made my debut on CNN in, what was it, 2008? In 2008, President Barack Obama, he had the night before he was reelected, he was here in Columbus. And because I helped with, not just talk politics and things, but I kind of helped during the time for his campaign. And so I got an invite to attend his rally that he had here in Columbus the night before he was reelected. He had Jay-Z there, and was it Bruce Springsteen? What's his name? I don't know. He had performers there, but I wind up getting a seat. Like literally, guys, it was January. Was it January? Yeah, January. It was ice cold outside. I waited outside like 4 hours before they opened the doors. Had to go through all of this security or whatever. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. But when they opened the doors and they allowed, because I was like VIP, they allowed VIPs to go in first. And I was like, I got to see where he is. Like, I got to see where President Obama is going to be. And literally I'll share a picture on social media when we get done with this, but literally President Obama was here, like with the cameras facing him. And guess who was right here beside him? It was me. So that's when I made my debut with CNN, just standing beside President Obama. Well, not right beside him, kind of to the back, but close enough. So yes, I just wasn't expecting this outreach. So you might see that. So if you see me on the news, that's what it's about. But let me go to the chat here for a minute. See, hold on. Let me go back here, make sure I'm getting all any questions posted. Let's see. Kaya said, I'm loving these Virgin Voyages cruises. Yeah, and I think I still have maybe 4 more parts to this. And I put a poll out there, and I haven't checked it today, but I put a poll out there because I've actually had a few people ask me, when are you going to post the Carnival Elation series? And I recognize that not everyone wants to watch Virgin Voyages. And so this Friday, we're actually going to do a double feature where at 8 o'clock, we're going to have the Virgin Voyages vlog to premiere, and then we're going to have the boarding day for Carnival Elation. So we'll kind of get that series started. My goal this year was to post 1 vlog every Friday night at 8 p.m. That way we can kind of stretch our vlogs, because I tend to get vlog happy and then start, like if we cruise, I might try to get all those vlogs out within 2 weeks. So I kind of need to space them. But I think we'll have plenty of cruises this year to where we can stretch it out. So Margaret says, I saw the video on CNN and I'm happy to see your name at top for providing the video to the station. Good job. Yes, thank you so much. And guys, I did not reach out to the news outlets. They reached out to me. Now, I will be honest, I did reach out, and I'll leave this person unnamed, but I did reach out to a fellow content creator who reports cruise news to share, like literally as it was happening, to share, maybe this is something you might want to highlight. I mean, my channel's not large or anything like that, so I didn't want to. I knew that if I shared it, it wasn't going to, make a big deal. So I did reach out, but I didn't get a response back or anything. So besides that, I mean, I was done with it after I shared it with that individual and didn't hear back. So, and then, like I said, the news outlets reached out to me. Just Kai, it makes me happy to be in a free country. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are very blessed. Alan Family Adventure says, right, Kaya. We really are, and we think we have it bad, and we really don't. Crazy how the disappointment of the cruise became a blessing for others. Yes, and I have to say that, like, people were upset about Coco Cay. I mean, I don't know why, because you could tell it was unsafe, but like we were in the Windjammer and people were just mumbling and grumbling about, not being able to get off the ship. And I get it. You save your money, you want to get on this cruise, and Coco Cay is a highlight for a lot of people. I mean, I was looking forward to going to Coco Cay, but I totally understand safety. But I felt like after, like once the rescue happened, and after that, people, like, I didn't hear anything else about Coco Cay or missing the point, because truly, I really do believe that God puts you in places for a certain reason. And it was meant for us to not go to Coco Cay, so that we were out there when that boat, approached the ship. So I'm thankful that it happened. And if I was on a ship again and it happened again, I would be perfectly okay with Coco Cay, my favorite port ever, St. Thomas, any of those ports. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that happening, or even the cruise to be altered, because I really do believe that life, is more important than anything else. So even if my cruise was altered completely because of this, like, it needs to happen, and I absolutely have no problem with that. Let's see. Chanel has a question. What place is best for a first time? Are you speaking of ports, like a best port? Now, Nassau, you're going to find on most itineraries, especially if you do like a weekend cruise. Nassau it's like I was in Nassau 12 to 13 times last year. With our cruises. So Nassau is going to be pretty much on most itineraries. If you're doing a short cruise, Cozumel is also another popular port. If I had to pick between one of those two for a first time, I would probably go with Cozumel, because I feel like there's a lot more to do there in Cozumel. But clarify whether you're asking, if you're asking cruise line, if you're asking about a port. Tony, welcome in. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Just Kai said, yes, that's amazing. Oh, also, yeah, if you're asking west, my husband's giving me notes, west or east coast. We've only cruised out of the west coast once, and that was our first family cruise on Carnival Imagination. But you're still going to get a stop. You're going to stop in Mexico, Ensenada, actually, if you're over there for a short cruise. LF McKinley, welcome in, LF McKinley. Thanks for being here. And you actually messaged to say that you saw me, I think, in Mississippi on the news this morning. Parker's on the go. Yes, please, guys, please do make sure you hit that like button first. We really do appreciate it. Remember, our goal is to hit 10K subscribers by the end of March. That is our goal. I've been trying to get content out and trying to share shorts and do different things just to, get our content out there, try to build up our subscribers, and that's our goal. So Alan at Family Adventures, wow, an incredible day. Yeah, it was an incredible day. Yeah, it really was. It really was. Stop. He's writing me notes. Teresa Lewis, welcome in. Thanks for being here tonight. Everyone's just speaking. 4 hours. What are you referring to? 4 hours. Parker's on the go. Let's see. Did you film it or were you limited on filming? So yeah, no, I filmed it. Like I said, again, things happen. I was in the right place at the right time. I was actually in line at guest services to check on something, and we heard the announcement, and I couldn't, sometimes you can't really hear the announcements when the captain's making them. And so we were right there. And then I heard something about a rescue, and I told Dyson, I was like, let's go. And we had no clue where it was on the deck. If it was on port side or starboard side. When we got there, there were already people lined up, and like literally we walked to the first open space, and that was where like you could see the boat coming in toward the ship. So yeah, I filmed it there. I didn't film the whole thing because like it took about a good 40-45 minutes from the moment that we got onto the deck until the last person got onto the ship. And people were questioning like, well, what happened to them once they got on the boat? There were some people, like I said, there was a mix of different things happening. You had some people that were crying. You had some that, were just like in like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. I have to be honest and say there were a couple of people that were being very ignorant about not wanting them to get on the boat, saying things related to them coming to take over the ship and things like that. And there was only a few people, so I try to ignore that. But I mean, so you had like a bunch of different things happening at that time. So yeah, I didn't film all of it, but I tried to film where you could see them coming from the distance and then making their way over. And I got some pictures once they got closer to the ship. Let's see, everyone else just speaking. Hi, Lisa, welcome in. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I would have fangirled so bad, our president. Oh my gosh, guys. Like, there's like not one celebrity. Is there a celebrity? No, there's not a celebrity. I think President Obama is it for me. Like, if I saw him, my goal in life is to hug President Obama or shake his hand or something. That is like my goal in life. So I'm not one to get, like I've seen and met a few celebrities and I don't really get, I guess, fanned out, but President Obama would probably do it for me. You raising your hand, Dyson? If I saw President Obama, yeah, I would cry. Yeah, I would cry. Well, between him and probably Janet Jackson. But yeah, President Obama, that's a goal for me. Like I have to shake hands or hug him or do, Team Reach Travels, welcome in. Thanks for being here and welcome back to YouTube. We missed you guys. So we're excited to have you back. And let's see, everyone else just speaking. So again, if you have any questions about cruising at all, feel free to drop those in. Marcia says, I have a Michelle Obama moment that I'll share with you via DM on Instagram. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to hear that. Please share. Please share. The closest I got to Michelle Obama was I sat, I think like fifth or sixth row during her first book tour. I went to see her in Detroit and I wanted to pay the extra money to get a picture with her. I just couldn't do it. Like, I think sitting fifth row was enough, but the cost to try to get a picture and meet her, one day it'll happen. Maybe I can meet those two together. Let's see, everyone else is just speaking. I know who you're talking about, laugh out loud. I'm not mentioning any names, just Kaya, because I love and respect the individual that I'm referring to. And again, I don't even know if my message was seen. But I totally understand when you're a big channel and you're getting messages from whoever, I probably look like spam to him or to that person. Sorry. Sorry. You guys, we'll keep going. I was trying to be discreet, but just Kai, did you hear about GoPort and all their cancellations? No, I didn't hear about GoPort. Not yet, but I'm sure I will here soon. I have some clients booked on GoPort, but no, I haven't. Did it happen today? I know that they had some cancellations, I think last year, and there were some issues with GoPort. So yeah, I'll have to look into that once I get off of this. But thanks for sharing. What is the best, cheapest cruise for a large family? So right now, the two that are I think the most affordable for families, first off being Carnival and MSC. Right now, and actually I feel like MSC might be even more affordable than Carnival. Carnival has really increased their prices recently. And I'll be honest, like I love Carnival, but I feel like Carnival is increasing their costs, but they aren't like backing it up with like better service or better food or anything. I'm so thankful that they've brought Emerald on as their, what do they call him, chief chef or something. So I'm really hoping that he gives them some different recipes for like the main dining room, and they can revamp some of that. I'm hoping that happens, but I don't know if that's even going to happen. But Carnival would be the cheapest. I would say Carnival is probably the most fun for families. More so like if you're doing, I would say a 4 or 5 day cruise. If you do a weekend cruise, it's going to be a lot of partying, but it's still fun. But you can get a reasonably priced Carnival cruise over like Royal. What I like about Carnival is that you can find some ships, like we're a family of 5, where you can find a cabin where you can have 5 in a cabin. So that is always helpful in trying to save money. And what does that mean?
Kids.
Yeah, my husband's saying Carnival's better for, he just needs to come over here and get in the live stream. But yeah, Carnival's better for families and younger families, I think. But MSC, I really, really feel that MSC is the underdog right now. I really feel that, here my husband's coming in, and Dyson's going to join us in a few minutes. But no, I really feel that MSC is really the underdog right now. And I know that there's a lot of bad reviews out there about them, but I really feel like they're taking some of that bad feedback or bad reviews, and they're turning things around. I sailed on MSC Divina back in September. That was my first MSC cruise. And I honestly really had no complaints. Like the food was great. And people talk about the food not being good. It was way better than Carnival's food. Yeah, I was solo on that. Cruise, but we have MSC booked for the family here in March. And guys, when I tell you our family of 5, and we have 2 cabins, they offered a kids sail free plus free drinks and free Wi-Fi. So what I did is I booked 4 of us in one cabin, and then I got one of their solo cabins. And the solo cabin is right across from the balcony. So because the kids sail free, it's after the first 2 guests. So you pay full fare for the first 2 guests. So I put myself and Andrew, because Andrew is not considered a kid. So I put me and Andrew, and then Dice and Joe Marie, they were free. So I paid for us. We got free drinks, free Wi-Fi, kids still free. And then I booked my husband in a solo cabin. That's my husband. He won't actually be in that cabin. We'll put the boys there. But $1,400 for a 7-night cruise. And it's going to Belize, Cozumel, Nassau, and then Ocean Cay, their private island. So really, you cannot beat MSC and some of their deals and their values. And I had the drinks and Wi-Fi when I was on, and the drinks, because the drinks, they have like 3 different tier systems for their drinks, and the one that's included is the basic tier. But I'm basic. I mean, I was fine with my pina coladas, my fruit punch, and it was great. So I would say for a family, the only thing is, MSC is an Italian cruise line. So some of the entertainment might be a little bit different than what you might find on like Carnival or Royal, but they have beautiful ships. I mean, and then they have like the kids water park, they have the kids clubs, so I would say if you're new to cruising, maybe try Carnival first, because I think that's going to get you hooked because of the fun, but then maybe branch off, try MSC, Royal Caribbean. We love Royal too, but Royal, sometimes the pricing just doesn't work for us. And I think we need to get on more Royal ships, but Royal's nice, but I feel like they're kind of comparable to Carnival, other than their food is a little bit better. Their ships have a little bit more to do. I just can't always, pay that price for a Royal ship, but it's a good family-friendly line as well.
Our kids love the Carnival atmosphere. So me as a first timer, I would try to lean more towards Carnival.
Yes. Denise said, "What is your favorite cruise line?" Right now, I'm gonna still stick with Carnival because, again, that's what the family likes. If I was choosing for myself, I would probably go MSC. Based on my experience with MSC, if I was going solo, I would choose MSC. In fact, my European cruise that I'm going on in July for my 40th birthday is on MSC. And I had the chance, I could have done Royal Caribbean. Actually, I was booked Celebrity Edge. I didn't book it. I kind of had that one in mind for Celebrity Edge. But then I saw that deal on MSC. And guys, for MSC, I'm paying like $500 for my European cruise. And I'm very transparent, but paying like $500 for my European cruise. Drinks included, 7 days, Wi-Fi included, and I'm in a solo cabin. So again, you can't beat that deal. But right now, I would say Carnival is my favorite cruise line, and followed by probably MSC. I really, really want Disney to be my favorite, but we haven't cruised enough Disney. We've only done one Disney cruise as a family, you weren't on it. Ron wasn't. So we'll have to do Disney as a whole family. I like Disney a lot, but Disney's pricing doesn't always work for us either. Sid Cruiser, welcome in. Thanks for being here tonight. I really do appreciate it. LF McKinley, yes, I was so excited to see it. They mentioned your channel name several times. I was like, I know them. It's so funny because everyone's like messaging me saying, "Hey, I just saw you on the news," and I have not seen anything. And even like when you search my name, it pops up like on CNN, like their news article, but I haven't seen a video at all. And I did do like I said, with the Associated Press, it was a Skype interview. So they said that would be published on the different news stations, whoever, I guess, purchased it from them, and then also on the internet. So we'll see. Because St. Thomas is your favorite port, we're going to St. Thomas in March on our next cruise. Any tip? Now, St. Thomas, I actually have a series on St. Thomas because was it last year, the year before? We went to St. Thomas for about a week and we stayed there. And it's just my favorite. It's a beautiful island. The beaches there are just amazing.
That was one of our first.
That was our first, when we first got together, that was our first trip away from the States. So yeah, I love St. Thomas. If I were to move into the Caribbean, it would probably be St. Thomas. Now, the cost of food, everything there is high as far as like the grocery store, like literally you're going to pay $12 for a gallon of milk.
Isn't that what we pay now?
Close to, it seems like. Yeah, seems like it. But yeah, so St. Thomas.
St. John's.
Yeah, so yeah, you can catch a ferry over to St. John, but it depends on your port time. So sometimes you get long days in St. Thomas, sometimes there's shorter days, but you can always catch a ferry boat over to St. John. But I would say check out Water Island. There's 2 docks in St. Thomas. If you get to the one that's closer to Water Island, you can catch their free ferry over to Water Island. It is a secluded beach, beautiful, and they're known to have sea turtles out there, so you can snorkel out there. They have like a little barbecue hut there, but it's beautiful and it's so secluded. But it's one of the Virgin Islands. A lot of people don't know that, but it's called Water Island. The sky ride, we took the sky ride up at Paradise Point. That it's beautiful. I was terrified. I have the vlog. So if you go back from when we first started vlogging, you'll see that St. Thomas series. And I'll probably give a lot of tips there.
That's when you and Dina were crying on this.
Yeah, we were crying on the sky ride going up the mountain. And our nephew, or my nephew and Dice, they were calling us the sobbing sisters in the video. But then you can also get on one of their taxis. I forgot what they call the taxis, but they're like $2. It'll take you around the island. You can do a tour that'll take you up the mountaintop to it's not Paradise Point, I forgot what it's called, but you can get banana daiquiris, the world famous banana daiquiris. So there's a lot to do in St. Thomas. The one tip I would give is a lot of the excursions will take you to Megan's Bay, and it's supposed to be one of the top beaches of the world. I don't believe that. You have Koki Beach, which is gorgeous. And Koki Beach, you can do some amazing snorkeling there. You have Lindquist Beach. There's a lot of other beaches, Sapphire Beach, that are gorgeous. Megan's Bay, I think, it's nice. It's kind of like a Half Moon Cay. If you've been to Half Moon Cay, that's kind of what Megan's Bay reminds me of. And you have the mountaintops with homes and different things there. But I would say try to get to like Koki Beach, try to get to, and what is the place called? Coral World. Coral World is a lot of fun. The boys did the sea trek where you go under with the helmet on. So there's a lot to do in St. Thomas. Like I said, if I were to move in the Caribbean, that's probably where I would move to.
You do have all that on there.
Yeah, so check it out. Check it out. Now, that wasn't from a cruise ship. That was just us visiting St. Thomas as a family. We were there about a week, but I do have those vlogs out there. Let's see.
And we stayed at an Airbnb.
Yeah, we did. We stayed because Ron wasn't with us the full time. So we stayed a few days at a resort on Sapphire Beach, which I have video, and I would stay there again. They don't have any all-inclusive, they do, let me take that back. They have 2 all-inclusive resorts in St. Thomas, but they're not really all-inclusive. So a lot of the resorts, you're still paying for food and drinks and things, but we stayed at one that was right there on Sapphire Beach. It was beautiful, but loved it. Parker's in the go, waiting for Obama in the cold. Yes, oh my gosh, I waited out there in the cold. I left work, I think I was sick that day. And I left work. And then, yeah, I was sick because then I had some explaining to do because I was on CNN right behind Obama. But yeah, I waited in the cold for him. That was a must. Like, I don't do the cold, but when I got invited, like I was invited to see Obama. And I was like, and I don't think you could get off work. Yeah, he couldn't get off work. And I'm like, I don't care if I can get off or not. I'm going to take off. And I did. And I was going to take one of the kids, but I felt that like it was going to be too long. They were younger then, of course, that it was going to be too long as far as having them. Was it 2008?
Yeah.
That it was going to be too long for them as far as them, standing around and things like that. But it was amazing. Yeah. But I'll share that picture on social media when we get off here. Let's see. So everyone's just speaking. I think they were talking about meeting Obama. Yes. Yes. Thank you. The pictures you took were great. Thank you, Tony. It was hard because there was like a glass or a window right there. They blocked off the upper decks because of the wind, I believe. And so we couldn't get photos or video that weren't right behind the window. Let's see. Hello, MH family. Hey, Athena. We're going to be cruising together here in a couple months. What cruise line has the best food? So right now, I would say NCL. I've only been on one NCL ship, but it impressed me so much with the food that I'm going to have to say that NCL has the best food. Yeah, it was amazing. So NCL, Royal Caribbean isn't too bad. We had some really good food this past cruise, and Dyson and I will talk about that here in a minute. So stick around. We're going to give a quick review on Liberty of the Seas. Carnival has just gone downhill. They weren't too bad when we first started cruising, but I think since the restart, they just have some improvements to be made. They have certain things. Blue Iguana, I love it. It's my favorite. I don't care for really anything on the buffet.
Just hit or miss.
Everything's like hit or miss. And it's like you might get something on this ship that's good, and then the next ship, consistently, Blue Iguana is great. Guy's Burger, even sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's just okay. Steakhouse, the same thing. So I feel like they're just not consistent. Every now and then you can go to the main dining room and find something you really like. I mean, they have options, but I just feel like the quality has gone down. But I would say right now, I would say NCL, Disney was pretty good too. I know you're interested in going on a Disney cruise. Disney was pretty good, but I wouldn't say it was better than NCL.
Disney had crab on the buffet?
Disney did. They had crab and shrimp on the buffet, so that was amazing. Did Dyson stand up on the board? He did not. He did not stand up on the, what's it called, Flow Rider? So I'll be sharing those videos out. But yeah, he kind of stayed low. I think because he stood up the first time and almost fell when we were on Mariner of the Seas. So yeah, he did not stand up on that. It was cold out. That water was cold. I didn't get in any water. No, I did. I got in jacuzzi, but it was really cold. Like the first day of the cruise, the high was like in the 50s. And, being out in the ocean, it's even colder. It was windy. It was miserable. Then the second day on Sunday, Nassau Day. We didn't get off the ship and it was like 70 degrees. So it was still cool for the Caribbean, but I thought it was perfect.
Do you think this is a good transition to
Yeah, we can get Dyson in here. Let's see if we have any other questions. GoPort is only doing Mardi Gras and one overseas. Anyone else was canceled. Oh gosh. Well, then that means, so then I should have gotten a notice because I'm already booked for GoPort and it's actually for Liberty, not Liberty, excuse me, Carnival Liberty for April. So thanks for sharing that. So maybe I haven't checked my email. Maybe it's in my email.
I'm going to leave. Dyson is just getting out of hair and makeup and he's on his way in.
All right. GoPort is still on my list. I see that. Yeah. I've had some experience with the GoPort, nothing negative, but I've heard others that have had some issues. I think more so because with COVID, I think this is probably what you're referring to, Jocelyn. I know with COVID, they weren't issuing refunds, they were issuing credits, and then you had to use the credits, and people are like, well, if I'm not cruising out of Port Canaveral, when can I use the credits? So I think that might be what you're referring to. Let's see. Is it Corinne as me? I'm thinking about booking a cruise for spring break. Is there any drawbacks for waiting somewhat last minute? Let me just tell you this, like right now, there is no such thing as a last minute deal. Like before COVID, cruise lines would offer some last minute, deals to get their ships full, but ships are filling up quickly now. And because they're trying to, recover some of the money that they lost with the shutdown, they are not dropping the prices. In fact, cruises are like really going up. I have a group cruise booked for May, and I tried to add someone on there, and literally their cabin was like $600-700 more than what I originally paid. So the prices are going up. So there's really, I don't see there being a benefit in waiting. The rule that I share with my clients is to try to book 2 years out. You'll find it to be the cheapest. And then you have, if there is a price drop, you have the most opportunities for us trying to get that price adjusted. So book early. If you, last minute, have some extra money or deciding, I have vacation time, I want to book something. I mean, you can still find some reasonable deals, but it's not going to be cheaper than if you booked it 2 years out. So I would avoid last minute bookings because there's not going to be like a big drop. And these ships are really filling up, and people are back into cruising. And I feel like there's even more people cruising now than before. And I think that's because with COVID, the influx of videos out there about cruising, there's a lot of content creators, a lot of cruise vloggers putting it out there, and people are more interested in it than ever. So I wouldn't wait for the for last minute. And like I have some clients that I just booked spring break, and I kind of look like, oh gosh, look at this price. Like I don't say this to them, but it's like comparing that price to what I booked another client with. I'm like, man, if you would have booked 6 months ago, this would have been a much better deal. But, so I would say try to book as early as you can. Like I'm literally booked out through 2024. So I try to find when there's going to be like those reduced deposits and try to deposit then. All right, let's see. We got Dyson here. Yes, they canceled my reservation a while back and was only taking weekend customers. I did hear that one. I did hear about the weekend customers. Yeah. Elisa said, well, that's a good price. I think you're referring to MSC. Yes. Talking to Brandon about MSC right now. I'm telling you, Parker's on the go. Definitely give MSC a try. There are so many negative reviews out there, but I believe in, trying something for yourself. Because like even I'll post, and I'm very, frank when I do my vlogs and honest about, things. But even with me sharing it, this is what it is. I still, because I've had like clients say, but you said this in your video. I'm like, yeah, but that was me. Like you might be okay with that. Like Virgin Voyages. I personally would never book a Virgin Voyages cruise. It's just not for me. But does that mean that it's not for my clients? No. I mean, I have some clients that Virgin Voyages is their thing. That's going to be the cruise line they prefer. It's just not what I prefer. So, looking at the reviews, even from like those content creators or vloggers that you really trust, like still try it for yourself. And I would always encourage someone, don't just take my word for it. I'm sharing this with you being open and honest, but your experience might be different from mine. We have different taste buds. We have different values, different, so give it a try. But definitely Parker's going to go try to get on MSC, especially with these great deals, especially the drinks and Wi-Fi, because that's a great value in itself. And what people don't understand is some people, like I get clients calling and they're like, well, book me on the cheapest MSC. but it's only $150 more to add on the free drinks and Wi-Fi. In most cases, $150 to $200 total for your cabin. Like, why would you not do that? Because more than likely, you're going to add on Wi-Fi when you get on the ship. More than likely, you're going to have a drink or two. And the Wi-Fi, I mean, you're going to spend $100 on Wi-Fi alone. So why not pay that to get the drinks and Wi-Fi? Even if you don't drink alcohol, I mean, it includes specialty coffees, milkshakes, sodas, juice, all that stuff. So Raleigh Creative Travel, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Alan family laugh out loud at fruit punch. Yeah, I need some fruit punch today. It's been a long day. All right, let's see. Countdown till the party. Yeah, because you have some adventures coming here soon. I'm excited for this vlogger. I think Raleigh Creative Travel, you're on the vloggers extravaganza. Is that what it's called? On NCI, I really wish I could have made that one, but unfortunately won't be on that one. But I'm looking forward to all of the vloggers that are out there. So better half of me. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you being here. All right. So wow, $500. Yes. Let's see. I want to make sure I get all the. Can you talk more about the casino percentage they have on Virgin Voyages? I'm all about the casino perks Carnival offers. Yes. So Virgin Voyages, and I don't remember the exact percentage. It might have been. I don't remember. I think I put it in the vlog. Was it 12%? It might have been 12%. So if you aren't using cash and you're just going to charge it to your card that's linked to your band, they charge a percentage. And I didn't know that until I went to a machine. And I talk about this in one of my later vlogs. I went to a machine and, you put a card on file. So I'm just like, oh, I'll just do like I do on Carnival and, charge it to my card or whatever. And I was going to put a little bit of money in there. And then it was like, you authorize this fee. I'm like, well, what is this? And so I had someone come over. Well, anyways, the machine was faulty. So it charged me 4 times and I didn't even authorize it. And they didn't want to give me back my money. So I'm going to talk about that in the vlog too. And customer service is terrible. But yeah, so I want to say it was 12%. Don't quote me on that, but it is in the vlog. But yeah, so if you want to avoid the fee, then you need to put cash into the machines. If you swipe your band for it to swipe your card or go through your card that's on file, you're going to be charged every time you do it. So that's not good. And I did not play in the casino. I had the issue where it swiped, like I was trying to swipe and trying to figure out what was going on, and it kept freezing. And then someone came over to help me and it kept freezing. And then later on that night, I looked to see, I'm like, oh, they charged me. And I went back to the casino and the lady was like, well, you authorized it. I'm like, no, I didn't. I said, the machine was frozen. I said, and this guy here helped me because the machine kept freezing. And because the guy was like, it kept freezing. He was like, your card is denied. And I'm like, my card is not denied. And he was like, it is denied. That's why it's not going through. And he was like arguing with me about my card declining. And I'm like, Mike, I'm not going to get on this cruise ship and have my card declining. And he's like, well, you need to go to customer service because it's freezing up because your card declined. I'm like, well, it didn't say decline across the bottom. So how do you say that because the machine froze that and it was declined? So long story short, they didn't want to give me back my money. And I had to like really raise some hell. And I don't usually do that. But yeah, that's the fee. So take cash if you're going to gamble. But the casino is extremely small on Virgin Voyages. It wasn't enjoyable, like just the space. It's really small. And you would think with it being an adult line that it would not be so small. Charlene, who do you recommend for Alaska? So at this point, I really can't recommend anyone, but I can tell you what I've heard. We've only cruised once to Alaska, and that was on Carnival, and it was great. It was great. We love the ports. We love the scenery. But what I'm hearing is that Princess Cruises is like ranked the top as far as Alaska. And that's because they bring on board like environmentalists, which Carnival did. They had one that was on board the whole cruise, but she didn't do a whole lot. But they say that Princess does a lot of seminars and they have a lot of environmentalists that come on board and talk about wildlife in Alaska and the glaciers. And they do a lot of that on Princess. So they're like ranked top for Alaska. We might find out this summer. So we're looking at going back to Alaska. So I'll let you know, but I'm hearing Princess and even NCL I've heard was really good for Alaska. But I mean, we had a great time on Carnival. The vibe is totally different, you're looking for a Carnival party ship, Alaska was not it. So if you've watched our Alaska vlogs, you'll see when they had these deck parties. Yeah, it was cold, and it was cold, but the guests on board were a lot older. And like dance parties, like people didn't want to get up and dance. It was like there were a couple dance parties where it was just us out there. But yeah, Princess, definitely check out for Alaska from what I'm hearing, but we might have some content here soon for that. We'll see. I remember the Sobbing Sister. Yes, just Kaya. So you guys check out St. Thomas. How can you book a Carnival room for 5 online? Only allows for 4. No, actually online, certain ships, and it's usually the older ships, you can book 5 online. When you're on the consumer website, when it asks you how many in the cabin, if you've already selected the ship, and it's a ship that will accommodate 5, it'll let you. So if it's not letting you go to 5, it's because that ship does not have cabins that accommodate 5. So ships like Carnival Sunrise, you can do 5 in Interior and Ocean View, Carnival Elation, Carnival Paradise, some of the older Carnival ships. I want to say maybe even like Spirit and Splendor. But like the newer ships, most of those, it's max 4 in a cabin. I think Dream, you can do 5 in their Deluxe Ocean View. So yeah, if you're on the consumer website, which if you're on the consumer website, try to use a travel advisor, even if it's not me. It just really helps small businesses. And we can help guide you and find those cabins for you, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you can't press 5, that means that ship does not accommodate, but there are some that do. In fact, Carnival Elation on Friday for our premiere, like I said, we're going to have 2 vlogs out Friday, one at 8, one at 8:30. The one at 8 is going to be Virgin Voyages our day in Key West. And then the one for 8:30 is going to be our first day on Carnival Elation. And we were in one cabin, our family of 5 in an Ocean View. So you'll see what that looks like on that vlog. Was your MSC a TA perk, or did you just catch a good special on MSC's website? That was not a TA perk. Now, MSC, my MSC Divina, and I'm very frank, very open and honest, my MSC Divina was a travel agent rate, and it was a great rate. But the MSC, the one that I have for the family, that was not. That is their current promotion that they have going on right now. That is kids sale free, free drinks, but the price has gone up. So we paid $1,400 for 2 cabins. Like I said, 1 solo, 1 with 4, and you have to be strategic. That's why you have to get a travel agent that knows kind of what to do, because I could have easily done 3 in the cabin and then 2 in this cabin, but I couldn't get that other kid free. So I put 4 in this cabin, my husband in this separate cabin, but the boys will literally sleep in that cabin, and my husband will sleep with me and Joe. So, yeah, that promotion is going on right now. Kids sale free, free drinks, and free Wi-Fi. And this is the MSC Meraviglia for March 19th, I think it is. And it's going to Belize, Cozumel, Ocean Cay, and Nassau, I believe. So, and then my European cruise, that was not a travel agent perk either. That was their rate for their solo cabin. So me and my sisters, it's kind of funny because they have a few little strips of solo cabins. It was cheaper for us each to book our own solo cabin than it was for us to get a cabin for us all to share. So you just have to be strategic. And if you have a good travel agent, they can help you out. Thanks, we'll check your videos. I think you're referring to St. Thomas. Yes, definitely check it out. She is a TA. She can book it for you at no cost. Yeah, I don't charge for my services at all. I just ask that when you reach out that you're actually serious, because I do get quite a few people that'll reach out for a quote and they're not really interested in trying to cruise. So I just ask that if you reach out that you're, interested and, really trying to book, because my services are free. I don't charge a planning fee or anything. Like I said, the cruise lines pay me commission, and I don't charge anything to my clients, and I do price monitoring. I help arrange hotels. I help plan excursions. I'll help, if you have a family, you're trying to figure out cabin configurations, I can help with that. So whatever my clients need, I help with. So definitely, and again, I'm not the only travel agent out there. There's plenty out there. But being a small business, support small businesses, because the cruise lines just keep those commissions if you book online, and that commission could go to help support, a small business, a family, or what have you. The Taste Buzz, welcome. Just glad to see you all here home safe. Yes, I'm sad that we didn't get to meet on Liberty of the Seas, but yeah, I'm subscribed to you and I look forward to seeing some of your vlogs. Hi, Antoinette, welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and kind of just talk quickly about Liberty of the Seas. Hold on, Taste Buzz, do you happen to know if Coco has a port fee? And if so, is it, you know what, Taste Buzz, I actually just said the same thing this morning. And when I got my invoice emailed to me from Royal Caribbean, they did not refund the port taxes and fees. So if you don't know, anytime your port is canceled, you don't have to pay the taxes. So usually when your ports are canceled, if you're on the ship, they will refund the port expenses, taxes, or whatever to your onboard spending account. That did not happen. So I'm actually going to be calling tomorrow about that. But I saw it this morning when I got I didn't pay attention to it when I was on the ship because they refunded the excursions we booked and I didn't really pay attention. But yes, they did not refund it. And I don't know if they're one of the cruise lines where you have to actually request it or if they automatically, I know Carnival automatically refunds it. Edna's World, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And Edna, I think you're on the Vloggers Extravaganza as well. But welcome in. Let's see. All right, I want to book for 3 adults, 5 kids. What's the best way to do it? Again, this is Jay Small. Welcome in. I don't think I've seen you here, but welcome in. Again, it really just depends on the cruise line, what promotions they have. I always try to look at all the configurations. Sometimes it's best, like the way we cruise, usually I'll put 2 in an ocean view, 3 in an interior, or I'm sorry, 2 in a balcony, 3 in an interior. That usually works out to be the best. But sometimes you could put 3 in a balcony and 2 in the interior. Andrew and Dyson usually have their own cabins, and then me, my husband, and Jo Marie, we share. But like I said, for MSC, I put 4 of us in a cabin so that 2 kids were free, and then paid the solo rate for him. And MSC has right now 80% off the solo supplement. So normally you pay double occupancy for a cabin if you're solo, but right now MSC it's 80% off. So, all right, let's keep going. Peace and blessings. So hi, together we travel. Thanks for being here. Hi, Phil and Dee. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, so we're going to talk quickly. Oh, Jerry James, welcome in. We got a lot of people here. Thanks for being here, guys. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button for us. Let's see. I'll be calling as well, and I will let you know what I hear. Yeah, absolutely. Let me know. I'm going to be calling them tomorrow because, yeah, we did not get that refund. All right, so Liberty of the Seas. So Liberty of the Seas, we were on it for 3 days. And just going to kind of give you a quick review. We'll do a full review video on this, but how do you like Liberty of the Seas overall?
Out of like 10? Or
yeah, out of a 10.
Give it an 8.
I'll give it an 8. Give it an 8. So we kind of talked about that. We haven't been on a whole lot of Royal ships. We've been on a lot more Carnival ships than Royal. We've been on Mariner of the Seas, Freedom of the Seas. I've been on Independence of the Seas, and now Liberty of the Seas. And out of the ones that you've been on, which one is your favorite?
I think Liberty.
Yeah, I would agree. I honestly went into Liberty of the Seas with, I know you guys probably hear this all the time, that sometimes the Royal Caribbean ships can be boring. And I kind of went into this like, okay, it'll be a 3-day weekend. We have 2 ports. It can't be too boring because, and then when Coco Cay was canceled, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so boring. But it wasn't. It was amazing. So to kind of start, the terminal, what did you think about the terminal?
It was really, yeah.
So we talked about how long did it take us to get through the terminal?
10 minutes.
Not even. I don't think it was even 10 minutes. So Fort Lauderdale, Liberty of the Seas ports out of Fort Lauderdale. And Edna said she is on the Vloggers Cruise. I thought so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all that content. But yeah, so Liberty of the Seas ports out of Fort Lauderdale. And this was our first time actually cruising out of Fort Lauderdale. And when I tell you, like, once we got through, like, they actually have a more secure gate. So when you start pulling through, your Uber driver or whoever has a shuttle, they have to show their ID and do all of this stuff. But once we got to where the porters were, I think it was like 5 minutes. It was so quick. We got there, 11 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
We got there like 11 o'clock. There was no line, no wait. We walked right up for them to check our passports and things and walked right on the ship. So I want to say Fort Lauderdale is probably my favorite port to date because it was just so fast. I've never had it that fast. Now, the one downfall, what was the downfall for the port getting to the ship? Remember? When we were walking up to the ship,
yeah.
What was that?
It was like a ramp that was really steep.
Yeah, there was a really, really steep ramp, and like there was no warning for that. And I'm always like looking at those types of things because you might have somebody that has, limited mobility or, things like that, bad knees. The ramp was very, very steep. So that was the only, Jo Marie, go around that way, please. Thank you. Are you trying to come on camera? You want to say hi? Come say hi. Come around this way. Jo Marie wants to say hi. All right, there's Jo Marie. Say hi. She got new glasses, so. And you want to show them what do you have around your wrist? What is it called? A giraffe huggy she got from school for a fundraiser she's doing. So, all right. The terminal was excellent. So if you have not cruised out of Fort Lauderdale, to me, I think it's the quickest. It was easy, loved it. What about the ship? What did you think about like the size of the ship, things to do?
It was, I think it wasn't like too big, it wasn't too small.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of activities to do.
Yeah, and this is a Freedom class ship, so it's kind of like that mid-sized ship, and I think it's the perfect size ship. It wasn't too small, wasn't too big, and they had a lot of activities. They had the ice skating rink, they had
flow rider, water slides, pool, jacuzzi,
rock climbing,
arcade. Yeah.
Then all the kids clubs, teens clubs, all of that. And they had the show on board, Saturday Night Fever. It was so good. And if you don't know Saturday Night Fever, it's the movie with John Travolta. It was so good. And their shows, this is what I love about Royal, is that a lot of their shows are Broadway. Like they're actually brought from Broadway. And like I saw Grease, I think on Freedom of the Seas. Mm-hmm. But the Saturday Night Fever was amazing. The capacity, we were at full, I think we actually might have exceeded the capacity, but it wasn't too bad. There was a dance competition going on. The capacity of the ship, I think, is like 3,900, and they said we were right there. And there were 1,200 kids on board because of this dance competition. But overall, it felt like, we weren't ever too crowded. So the cabin, what did you think about the cabin?
It was like pretty good size. Mm-hmm. I mean, the bathroom wasn't that big, but it's not like we were really in the cabin besides sleeping. Yeah, so I always say that you're in the cabin for the 3 S's. That's what I tell my clients. They're like, I want to get a suite, and I'm like, really? Especially if you're a new cruiser, you're in the cabin for the 3 S's, and I think you can guess what those are: to shower, sleep, and what? To shower, sleep, don't say it, and sleep. That's what you're in the cabin for. I mean, really, that's if you cruise, and you guys can, those of you that are on here that have cruised, that you don't spend a whole lot of, at least we don't spend a lot of time in our cabins. We're in there to sleep, good and well, sleep, shower, and I'll let you figure it out later. No, I know what it is. I just want you to tell them.
They know what it is. But we're a family channel, so we're not going to talk about that. But the cabin, I loved it. It was an interior cabin. And what I liked about this interior cabin is that it actually had a couch. It had a small couch. A lot of interior cabins do not have couches, so I appreciated that. But the bed was hard. And I feel like that is a common pattern with Royal Caribbean. Every bed that I've been on in Royal Caribbean has been hard. I mean, like my hips were hurting. It just wasn't comfortable. So the bed was not comfortable, but everything else in the cabin was amazing. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry said poop. That's right, to poop. So what about the food? What did you like about the food? Or did you like the food?
It was good. I really liked the Mexican restaurant. This called Sabor. It was really good.
Yes. So they don't have a whole lot of extra dining options like some of the other Royal Caribbean ships. So they had Shop's Grill, which is the steakhouse. They had Giovanni's, which is the Italian restaurant. And then they had Sabor, which is the Mexican restaurant. And it sounds like the Mexican restaurant, they're starting to phase out of Royal Caribbean, but it was so good. Like it was, we booked it the last night of the cruise. But I said, if I would have booked it the first night, we probably would have gone back on the last night. It was so, so good. And it was the best thing we had on the ship, I think. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. What about the Windjammer? Did you like the Windjammer?
I like the Windjammer.
So if you don't know the Windjammer is a Royal Caribbean's buffet. And if you watch like our Carnival vlogs, you will very rarely see me eat at the buffet. I just don't like the buffet on Carnival, but I will eat at the Windjammer. The Windjammer has a lot of options. The food is usually pretty fresh. They just have a lot of options. So we did eat at the buffet, but because the sailing was packed, the Windjammer stayed packed, except at dinner time. What about the main dining room?
It was all right. I think, what was it? Yeah, it was all right. It was a little slow.
Yeah.
And the food, I think I actually like Windjammer dinner better than the dining room.
Yeah, the food was okay. It came out kind of lukewarm, tepid. But overall, the service was really slow. That was the thing. It was really, really slow. And there was no organization because like people that sat down after us would be finished with everything before us, like even larger parties. And it's like we weren't understanding how you have a table of 8. They came in 15 minutes after us. How do they have all their food? So there wasn't much organization there. But the thing that I didn't like about Liberty of the Seas is I felt they didn't have enough casual dining options, meaning like places that you could go to if you just want like a quick bite. So they had Sorrento's, which is the pizza. What do you think about the pizza?
Yeah, I think Royal Pizza is my favorite.
Yeah, Sorrento's is pretty good, and that's included. Then they had the Promenade Cafe, which has like little sandwiches. Those are good. I just don't like that they put like the mayonnaise and mustard and stuff on there. But like,
you know how upstairs in the Windjammer they have like tacos on the side?
Yeah.
They should like have that.
Yeah, so they don't offer that in the Promenade Cafe. And then on the main pool deck, most Royal Caribbean ships, they have 1 or 2 like spots for you to eat, whether it's fish and chips where you get fish and french fries, or they might have like a hot dog stand, or they might have, is it El Loco tacos? They didn't have any of that on Liberty of the Sea. So there's not a dining spot on the actual pool decks. I didn't like that.
They didn't have water stations either.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had a bar, but it was most of the time packed.
Yeah.
And most of the time, if you're at the pool, you have to go down and get water.
Yeah, so it wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't enough water stations and things like that. But overall, the food was pretty good, we thought. Kids activities, teens activities. Did you feel like there was enough for you to do? The kids club, teens club. Did you enjoy it?
In my group, we were in the teens club a lot. I feel like Carnival has, when it comes to activities to do there, Carnival has it because Royal, we may have went to the sports court and played dodgeball or basketball a few times, but then after that, it wasn't really anything to do. I feel like every single time I saw an activity on the teens thing, I think it was called Fuel, 12 to 17. It was just something that was on the sports court.
Yeah, yeah.
There wasn't any activities to do in the actual thing. There was foosball, there's places to sit and like video games, but it's not nothing.
Yeah, and the arcade comes at an extra cost. The arcade was pretty nice though, did you think? You were in the arcade quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So overall, would you recommend Liberty of the Seas?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was a great ship. They operate 4 to 5 night sailings, I believe, right now to Fort Lauderdale. So definitely recommend, or 3 to 5 night sailings, I should say. So definitely, it was a great ship. I enjoyed it, and I would say out of all of the Royal Caribbean ships that I've been on, I probably like this one the best. Now, I was looking forward to having what is the sports bar called on Royal? It'll come to me. I was looking forward to that because if you guys don't follow, if they're still on your Parkers on the Go, Brandon does chicken reviews. And I'm like, as many times as I've been on Royal, I've never gone to, what is it called? Oh my gosh, your sports bar. I've never gone there to get wings. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to get on. I didn't even check. A lot of times I don't do a whole lot of research before Playmakers. Thank you. I was like, I'm going to go to Playmakers because of Brandon's video, and I'm going to get some chicken wings and try them out because I love his chicken reviews. So check those out. If you aren't subscribed to Parkers on the Go, please be sure to subscribe to them as well. And they didn't have it. So, and it really made it hard because they had a couple games, Sunday football, and people were like blocking the the Royal Promenade because they were watching. They had like one small TV screen in the Cafe Promenade, Promenade Cafe. And people were like blocking trying to see that one TV screen. So they really need to have some sort of sports bar on there.
That's
so
another thing I like about Royal over the Carnival is that it's a promenade.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love how they, you know how like a mall is like a long hallway just full of shops and stuff, exactly what it is. Carnival, I feel like they have like most of their stuff, but it's like on separate floors or it's in different areas. Like Royal is just like one big,
like a strip mall.
Yeah.
So overall, we liked Liberty this season. We would definitely cruise on her again. Those vlogs will be out probably, what month is this? January, probably closer to the end of February, beginning of March. And like I said, we'll have some other things in between. But that's all I have. If you want to stick around, I'm gonna make sure I got all comments before we close up. But thanks for giving that review. We will give a full review on Liberty of the Seas as well. But let me just go back and see if I missed any comments. But thanks, Dice. We have only cruised on Royal. We really enjoy the shows and how they treat their guests. We are over 50 years old. Yeah, I could definitely see that, Denise. It's a different vibe than like a carnival ship. And then it says, I agree, I came back with backaches. Yeah, the beds were terrible. I don't know if you guys have experienced that on Royal. And somebody was like, well, you have to ask for a padded, like a bed pad or something. I'm like, I shouldn't have to ask for a bed pad to have a comfortable bed. I feel like Carnival has that much better than Royal. Carnival's beds, I sleep like a baby. Like I've never had an uncomfortable Carnival bed. So let's see. Dyson said say it. Yeah, he wanted to see me say it. I can't do that. We're a family channel. Hey, Dyson, can you grab my charger, please? Tony speaking to Joe Marie. Yeah, we're gonna get her here. We're gonna get her here on a live stream soon. We want to do something as like a whole family. Like I said, my goal for this year was to try to do more live streams to try to engage with our subscribers a little bit more because we really didn't do a whole lot last year. So again, if you're new to our channel, we're gonna be live streaming my computer charger. We're gonna be live streaming every 2 weeks. So every other Tuesday. We'll be doing our cruise Chit Chat Tuesdays, so definitely be sure to set that alert. Let's see, we'll make sure I didn't miss any comments. I agree. I switch from doing balconies all the time. Just depends on the cruise now. Yeah, I absolutely have no problem cruising in an interior cabin if the price is right. When the price is right for a balcony, I'll do that. But like I said, I don't spend a lot of time in the cabin anyway. So my cruising family, welcome in. I've been enjoying your MSC Europa. Speaking of MSC, if those of you who were interested, definitely check out my cruising family. They have a few different MSC vlog series. They were on Seascape recently and Europa, so definitely check them out. Subscribe if you're interested in MSC. They've been cruising a lot with MSC. The taste buzz, yes, came back with backaches. I'm gonna make sure I got all the comments. Charlene, really enjoyed Dyson's packing video. Yeah, Dyson's really creative with those shorts and different things. So we're trying to push more of those things out. But thank you for that. Playmakers, we like laser tag too. Yeah, they didn't have laser tag on this ship. They did have ice skating, but no laser tag. Jerry said Symphony of the Seas beds were comfortable in September. Okay, that's good to know. We're looking, we are booked Allure of the Seas, but I'm thinking about changing that up because I knew it, but it didn't dawn on me when I booked it that they don't have water slides. So I know the kids like the water slides and things, so we're probably going to switch up Allure of the Seas, and we were looking at Symphony. We want to do Wonder of the Seas, and we want to do Icon of the Seas, but guys, those prices, like it's hard when you have a family of 5 because the pricing just doesn't, and that's also one reason why like I'll do the individual cruises with the kids because we can cruise more. Like we try to go on as many as a family as we can when the price is right, but it's hard when you have a family of 5. Even being a travel agent, getting travel agent deals, it's a lot. So, but we enjoy it. Thanks. Looking forward to seeing your European. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate that. We're on our way to 10K. That is our goal. We're at, I think, 63 something now. So thank you for that. Says, thanks so much. I'm looking forward to seeing your European MSC adventure this year. I'm so excited for that European cruise. I really am. Like, I'm more excited for that than any other cruise this year. So excited for that. So it looks like I've gone through all the comments, all the questions, and we are 20 minutes past time, and I'm trying to keep these right at an hour. So again, thank you guys for all the support. If you have not checked out CNN, if you Google MHFamilyAdventures or Google my name, RacQuelle, it'll pop up. Like I said, if you came in late to this, we had the migrant rescue on Liberty of the Seas, and I've had the news outlets to reach out to me for news stories. So like I said, it's on CNN. The Associated Press did capture an interview via Skype, and there was another one that just recently reached out. But yeah, definitely check those out if you haven't already. And if you see it in your hometown, let me know, because like I was not expecting it to go past. Like I said, I was trying to share it with a fellow content creator to give them something to share, but it didn't work out. But like I said, CNN reached out, so that's amazing. But again, and also you guys, pray for the families that were affected, those that were trying to come over. Like I said, I still don't know the status of the two ships, the two boats that were with them. So I'm praying that everyone's there and everyone's safe and sound, and pray for Cuba and Haiti, and that things get better so that people aren't trying to leave there, because it really has to be really bad for you to risk your life and to say I'd rather be out on the open seas for 15 days in the freezing cold and rain than to stay here. So that, it says a lot. So just continued prayers for that. That things get better. My cruising family says, congrats on that feature. Alan saw the CNN feature days ago, and I told him that looked like your footage. Yeah, and someone else said that, and I think CNN probably shared it before they got my consent, but it's not copywritten, so it is what it is. Natasha, is Liberty of the Seas a pretty ship? Heard it was outdated. Now, Natasha, I think it is considered outdated for like Royal Caribbean Standard. It's one of their older ships, but I don't think it's outdated at all. It is beautiful. It's smaller than like if you've been on like an Oasis class or like a Symphony of the Seas. It's smaller, but it's beautiful. Like there's nothing to me that seemed outdated about it. I've been on a few outdated ships. I think some of their older ships like Vision of the Seas and Jewel of the Seas, those are a little bit outdated, but I think Liberty of the Seas kind of falls right in the middle. So I think it's a perfect ship. Let's see. It says, I knew it. Great work. MHFamilyAdventures won't keep you too long on your live, but had to say it. Thank you. You were the first person I saw share that situation. Yeah, and it really needed to be shared. People need to see that this is a problem. And like, again, I'm not saying the problem is the migrants coming over. The problem is that there's issues going on elsewhere and people feel the need to escape it. So, like I said, we can just pray for them and, hope that things resolve and things get better. But I'm going to go ahead and close out this live stream. If you, again, are new to our channel, please consider subscribing. And if you have not given this live stream a thumbs up, please consider doing so as well. And we will be back. We will have our TGIF features on Friday at 8 p.m. Virgin Voyages Part 3, I think, Key West. We spent the whole day in Key West, had a great time. And then we're also going to share our first vlog for Carnival Elation, which was our Christmas cruise. So that will be out Friday as well at 8:30. So be sure that you are subscribed, have the notification bell on, and we will go live again 2 weeks from today. And I will share the topic out of what we're going to discuss. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. And if you're looking for a travel agent, travel advisor, my information is in the description box. I would love to be able to help you plan your cruise. So just reach out if you're interested. But guys, have a great week. And again, thanks for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. See you guys later.